Okay, when I log on to Big Ideas, this is the screen that it should look like or something very similar. To know what grade level you're in, you look at this tab right here and you can click on it, and I see I have Algebra, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. So whether I want to make an assignment or I want to start the slideshow for that day or I want to look up if they did their homework, I'm going to pick what grade I want to use. Let's start with creating an assignment. Let's say I wanted to create an assignment for 7th grade. So I click on the 7th grade up here, Math 7th grade. Then if I want to make an assignment, I click on the Assignments tab. You can already see I have some assignments that I have previously made that I saved in there. Go ahead and click Create an Assignment. Then this screen should pop up and you can choose any chapter that you want. I'm going to randomly choose Chapter 6 just for an example. And if I was on Chapter 6 and I was doing Lesson 1, that'd be 6.1, I click Assign. Then I'm going to click Add an Assignment, choose from a set of problems. There's going to be usually 50, 60, 70 problems sometimes. So how do you know which assignments to assign? In my Matching Teacher's Manual, I have the Teacher's Manual. They're kind of by my counter, by my desk, by handbag basket. I have... If I was doing, what lesson am I doing? 6.1 in 7th grade, then you would go to the 7th grade book and you'd open my book up to 6.1, and I have all the problems I want the kids to do circled in my book. Now what I usually have is about 20 problems circled in my book, and I assign every other one. So for example, if in my book, I'm going to use this as an example, I have these 3 or 4 problems assigned, or 5, then I would assign on here, number 4, I would skip the next one, assign 6, skip 7, assign 8. Why do I do that? Just so that way I get a variety of questions. I want to end up with 10 questions on my assignment. If you want to do just the first 10 that are circled for day 1 and the second 10 that are circled for day 2, that's fine. I just like to go every other one and skip one, so that way they get a mix of easy problems and story problems, because the bigger the numbers you get, the harder the problems are. So I like to have a variety. So I would go into my book and I would find the ones that I circled. So I'm doing the every other one up to 10 problems. We'll just stop there. And then I'm going to go down here. For 7th, 8th grade and algebra, I always do live tutor and calculator. For 6th grade, they just don't get that calculator option. There's no calculator in 6th grade. But since we're doing 7th grade, we can do the calculator. And for all grades, we do by teacher. If you do on submission, it'll show them all the answers to the ones they got wrong, and that's not very helpful. This says check answer limit. We always put 3. That means they get 3 times to check. You click next, and then you click what kids you want to do the assignment. We usually do a separate assignment for our SPED kids, but for now we'll just do all students. We'll worry about our SPED kids later. And then we assign what day we're going to do this on. So if this was the assignment for Monday, then I would click Monday, and then I would put in the time that their class starts. So I look at the class schedule, it says 9:36 a.m., and then when I wanted it to end, I would just pick 3 or 4 days later. Doesn't matter what time. And then when I label this, it was 6-1, so I'm going to do 6-1, day 1. And then I add to queue, or add to my queue, sorry. And then when I want to do day 2, I click Add Assignment again, choose my problems. Last time I did 4, 6, 8, so I'm going to do the other set. I'm randomly just picking here. Out of my teacher's manual. Live tutor, they're 7th grade, they get a calculator, always by teacher, 3 checks. Choose my students. Choose the start date. This would be the next day, so that's Tuesday at 9:36 a.m. Few days later after Tuesday might be Friday, and this one I call 6-1, day 2. If I was assigning a SPED assignment, which I'm sure I'll have Miss Olson do instead of you, I would just name it 6-1, day 1 with an S to stand for SPED. And they usually just have less problems. If I'm all done and everything looks good, I click Assign. And then that'll go right into their assignments. But I'm not going to do that for now because I don't want them to actually do that random assignment. So to do an assignment, just to review, I go to assignments, make sure I'm in the grade level that I want to be, create an assignment, then you just follow it, whatever chapter you want to do. You can go up here and pick whatever chapter. I'm going to do 3-1, assign. Well, this one's already started for me, but I would just click my assignment, and then I would look at my teacher's manual to find out what numbers I wanted. I want to click live tutor for everybody, by teacher for everybody, but I don't want to do the calculator for 6th grade. And then if everything's all good, I go ahead and assign it. So that's on just making an assignment. Let's say that I want to see if the kids actually did their assignment or if they passed their homework. So I'm going to do a different grade. I'm just going to do, 6th grade. Instead of looking at assignments, you're going to go to the reports tab. So they already did their homework and you want to see who passed their homework, because if they don't pass their homework with an 80% or higher, they can't redo their homework check. So I'm going to go to 2-2 and click, or 2-1 and click report. Then I'm going to click on show details. This tells me right here that 9 out of 10 students did their homework. So I scroll down and it looks like Anaya's homework was not turned in, so she doesn't get to redo her homework check. If I wanted to look at day 1, I just click day 1. It looks like Anaya's homework was not passed, so she cannot redo her homework check. Now let's say that it's not passed and she wants to redo it, and she'll ask you, can you return my homework? You just click on submitted and unsubmit it. And then it sends it back to her, so she has it now. So now we have it as not turned in because we send it back to her. So if we want to check our homework, we go to reports, click whatever grade you want to look at, click whatever lesson, click on report, show details, and then this tells me, it looks like Anaya didn't pass this homework, so I would send it back to her. Olivia never even turned hers in, so they would not be able to redo their homework check. So for assignments, we go into assignments, create an assignment, do all that. For reports, we click on the right grade level, whatever one we're looking at, we'll go into and look. If you wanted to pull up your daily slideshow, you would go to resources, in whatever grade level you want. Let's do pre-algebra. And if you wanted to view their book, you could do the ebook. We usually don't though. And then I would go down underneath resources, it says chapters. So whatever chapter you're going to be in, if you're on chapter 6, go to chapter 6. Let's say it's 6-2 is what lesson you're on, and I want to do that slideshow. Always click Dynamic Classroom. Search the resource. There's your slideshow for the day. I always start at teaching the lesson, example 1. Then I just read that, we do it together, and then you can put the answers up if you need to. All I'm doing is clicking on the slideshow, it puts those up for me. And then I never do the tutorial, but if you didn't feel comfortable teaching that or you didn't know, you could do the tutorial and it'll do a video on how to do it. And then I go to example 2 and I would do that one. If I didn't know how, I could do the tutorial on your own. They would do all the problems and then I would just have them check their answers. And I'm just clicking on the slideshow to get it to go. I try to get through as many examples as possible, and then there's closing the lesson and I do the mini assessment. If I don't get to all of it in day 1, I try to finish it up in day 2. Or if I know it's going to be a longer lesson, I might just go through the examples and do the on your owns the second day. That way the kids can do them. So again, if I was on Big Ideas, I would pick my grade level. Let's do 6th grade. Resources, whatever chapter you're in. And then you click the whatever lesson. If I was on 9-2, Dynamic Classroom. That pulls up the slideshow. And that's what I project for students to see. I start in example 1. Then we talk through it together. Then I do example 2. Talk through it together. Example 3. I just have them have their whiteboards out and just do it with me. And I think that's it on Big Ideas.